وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ مِن لَدُنَّا عِلْمًا. We gave him from our special vaults some special kind of knowledge. Clearly, Khidr alayhi salam has knowledge that Musa alayhi salam does not have, including knowledge of the future. For one thing, he knows for a fact that these boys are going to grow old and they're going to be digging up this treasure. Nobody can make that projection. That can only come from Allah. There's no way for you to know that this kid will survive even the next day or next year. I can't say about myself how old I'm going to be. لا تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت. No person knows what land they're going to die in, where they're going to die, how they're going to die, when they're going to die. And yet Khidr is speaking with such guarantee, these kids are going to grow up to be this old. That can only come from revelation, right? So he says, وَمَا فَعَلْتُهُ عَنْ أَمْرِي. I didn't take this action on my own accord. In other words, I only took this action because of the knowledge Allah had given me. If you combine these two things, you learn yet another lesson. You and I can never take the kinds of actions that Khidr alayhi salam took because we don't have that special vault of knowledge from Allah. You and I cannot say, I did this, I hurt this person because 10 years from now you'll thank me for it. You and I can't think that way because we have not been given that access. We can only act in accordance with the revelation given to us through our messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The only reason he acted in the way that he did is because Allah had given him the kind of knowledge even Musa alayhi salam didn't have. That's why Musa alayhi salam himself found it shocking. What this also means then for you and I is we cannot have projection-based thinking. Let me just tell you in a couple of minutes what that means. Projection-based thinking. I mentioned this in an earlier lecture too. Some nations go to war and say, yeah, there's going to be about maybe 500,000 civilian casualties, but we predict that in about 10 years their economy is going to be doing a lot better. Right? And they make these projections. There's these strategic, economic, political projections. And based on those projections, they justify mass murder. Because in the long term, we're looking out for the better of this nation. This is our projection. We see how those projections work out, don't we? No human being can tell the future. And you cannot, based on your predictions of the future, commit crimes today or take any actions today as if you have guarantees of what is going to happen with the domino effect of events. You can't. But Allah has knowledge of that. So He can allow something to happen now, knowing the domino effects. He's not projecting them. He's not estimating them. He's not saying there's a 90% chance this will happen. He is given this knowledge with a 100% guarantee. He's speaking about the future the way we speak about the past. So it's a completely different ballgame. And that's why we can't do that. That's why we're not allowed to do that. We cannot base our actions on something that might happen in the future or might not happen in the future. We have to base our actions on concrete, right and wrong in the immediate.